What's going on? Alright, so this is something that I've kind of wanted to do for a while now for a few reasons, which I kind of talked about before. I would say one of the big reasons is that I want to try and be more active with making videos without burning through everything I haven't shown and then not being able to make a video when I want to. But I would say the main reason I want to do this is because there are people coming in to this channel now who may be curious about what the entirety of my record collection looks like. And I would much rather them watch a video like this that's a bit nicer than the ones that I made back in 2014, which are heinous. My opinions may have changed on certain releases. I may like things more or less, or maybe there's things I forgot about that when I pull it out, I'll put it on and maybe I'll like it again. I don't know, maybe this is kind of for me as well, but that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be going through the entirety of my record collection. I don't know how many records I'm gonna be able to get through in a video. I haven't figured out a formula yet. I know I can't use song clips for everything because I don't want there to be 100 parts of this series. I'm gonna try and keep these videos around 20 minutes like normal. You know, some things I'll just blow through. I know what you guys have seen a million times. I know what you might not have seen a million times. So, yeah. Let's do it. First, this is what we're listening to in the background. This is Grift with Arvet. One of my favorite releases of last year, and this is a really cool like A5 Digipack version. Gorgeous, man. I love this album. Alright, goddammit, let's do it. First things first, this is Abomin or Abomine. I've seen it pronounced a few different ways. So you guys know, I keep all of my records like sleeve in like this. I keep the record in inner sheet separate, mainly because it's easier access and over time it prevents ring wear. So I suggest anybody who wants to avoid those things or give yourself easier access to the record itself, I would recommend you do the same thing. Anyway, Abomin, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in a video before. This came out in like 2016 or something, and this is a Pete Helmkamp project. I believe technically this is a one-man project. From what I remember, when you bought this, you had the option to get a black cover with like white print or the white cover with black print. I'm pretty sure there were limitations. I honestly don't remember what they were. I'm not reading off of anything. This is purely what I remember off the top of my head, and I'm gonna do that for everything. But yeah, basically super nasty fucking like Black Death. You guys know what it sounds like. If you've heard Crassferous, you know what this sounds like. By the way, the fucking album's called Larvae Offal Swine. We're off to a great start. Back cover, as with like Crassferous and stuff, the fucking font is literally identical. Printed in a sheet right there, Larvae Offal Swine, more additional artwork. And on that side, you got the lyrics. It is white vinyl. I'm not sure if the different cover variants, like I said, white with black or black with white, I'm not sure if it made a difference with the color of vinyl. I don't believe that it did, but I also could be wrong. It's been a while. So, Hell's Bangers co-released, Osmos Productions, very cool. Yeah, man, fucking nasty, like I said, nasty Black Death. Pete Helmkamp is a fucking monster. We all know it. So, yeah, Abomin, Larvae Offal Swine. Alright, next up, Japanese Black Thrash. This is Abigail with the Final Damnation. Fucking glossy as hell. This came out in like 2016, and this is not exactly my introduction to Abigail. I do have a 7-inch split with Shitfucker. But this is the only 12-inch record that I have, the only full length that I have, and Abigail's been around forever, man. They've got a massive discography. And I'm talking, this came out in 2016, and there was almost 20 releases since this came out, mostly splits. But that's fucking crazy. Yeah, you guys have probably all heard Abigail, but there's the front cover right there, back cover right there, the Final Damnation, track listing, band members, shit like that. The record, I think, is supposed to be red, but it looks very pink. To me, I don't know. That looks pink. And this also comes with a poster, which is actually quite cool. No lyrics or anything, which I thought was strange. I don't know if all Abigail stuff comes without lyrics. Like I said, this is the only thing I own in terms of 12-inch records. So, I don't know. Nuclear War Now, really nice quality. Abigail, Final Damnation. Alright, next up here, I have a bunch of Abigor records. And most of the Abigor records come with this. This is the complete Hornix recordings. It's called 1994 to 1998, the complete Hornix recordings. Basically, this is a compilation box set of the first, like, few Abigor releases. I know that not all of these are full-length albums. Some of them are just like EPs or whatever. But let me blow through this. So, this is the box right here. It doesn't, like, it's not like a pizza box style, it literally just slides. You do get a booklet like this that has pictures, information, lyrics, interviews for everything. Now the only thing on here that doesn't include lyrics is the very first release. And I don't remember where, but I read somewhere that it was because the band didn't want the lyrics for that in here because they were embarrassed of them. I have no idea if that's true or not, but it's interesting either way. I'm literally not going to pull any of these out because they're all black vinyl. They don't include any inserts or anything like that. So this is the first release right here, Verwurstung, Invoke the Dark Age. I believe this was from 1994, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, real simple. Like I said, all of these are just black vinyl, no inserts or anything, and I actually got to get the vinyl out so I can put it in there like all my other records. Here's the second one from 1995. That's Orc Blut, The Retaliation. Here's a full-length album. I think this was also from 1995. This is probably my favorite. This is Nacht Diamond from the Twilight Kingdom. This was really when they started going into using like keyboards and synths and stuff like that, which even in the booklet, Abigor says is a no-no. But I guess they wanted to do it and prove that it could be done properly. Then you got Opus 4 from 1996. Yeah, it's just like a spiky ass chair. Apocalypse from 97. I think this was also just an EP. I'm not sure this was a full-length album. And finally, Supreme Immortal from 1998. Very cool. Forgive me if I didn't go into detail on like pretty much any of those. I really don't want these videos to be super long, and I need to get through all this bullshit. Some of the stuff I will talk more in length about, but for a box set, I mean, I made a whole video just for this box set, so if you're more curious about more detail, you can go watch that. But that's Abigor 1994 to 1998, the complete Hornix recordings. And the last Abigor record I have here is Leitmotif Lucifer. I believe this came out in 2014, and this is probably my favorite Abigor record out of everything. I believe this thing is like the 9th full-length LP or something like that, and basically all the tracks are titled in Temptation, so Temptations 1 through like 8 or 9 or something like that. I think my favorite was Neglect, if I'm not mistaken. This thing's great, man. Like, especially the guitar performance is fantastic, and when this record slows down, it gets fucking creepy. The vocals are fantastic. Just songwriting is great, man. Abigor really progresses with each release, and I know they have a new album that's come out this year, but I haven't heard it yet, though I guarantee that's fucking great. So let me show you. The gatefold opens like this. You can actually get this relatively cheap, which is surprising because it's really fucking nice, and the album is really good. It is just black vinyl labels, yeah. So if you're looking for some like slowish, creepy black metal with really nice guitar work, great vocals, this is where you go. So Abigor, Leitmotif, Lucifer. Alright, let's talk about Aborted for a bit. So Aborted is a Belgium death metal band, and maybe even in the earlier days you'd call it like gore grind or death grind or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I just call it death metal because it's easier. But Aborted have put out consistently good albums. There's nothing that I've heard that I dislike. Granted, I haven't heard completely everything. There are a couple releases that I've just never listened to. But my favorite Aborted album is probably the 4th record from 2005. And that's this, The Archaic Abattoir. From what I read, this thing is supposed to be hand numbered, but there's no fucking numbers on this thing, so I really have no idea. But from what I understand, it's limited to 700 copies. In terms of the music on this thing, the first song, Dead Reckoning, man, it's got a great opening. The intro is really fucking cool. The song itself is just a goddamn burner, man. That's just it's a fantastic way to open the album, but there's not a dull moment on this thing as far as I'm concerned. Fucking really cool cover. There's a back track listing and just the other end of this fucking room. Right here is a lyric sheet. You got a toilet on that side. I like this right here, Play Corpse. It's like a calendar, 2005, very cool. And it's just black vinyl. So skipping forward a few releases, and I'm not even sure how many if I'm perfectly honest, probably maybe 2 full-length albums. In 2010, we got the release from Aborted that I heard first. And despite maybe not being my favorite, it does definitely hold the most special place in my heart. It's Coronary Reconstruction. This is just a 5-song EP. Like I said, it came out in 2010, and what's cool about this, the version of Coronary Reconstruction, the actual song on here, I actually prefer this version over the Global Flatline version by miles. But this also has a cover of Entombed's Left Hand Path, which is cool. Easily Aborted's best album cover, and one of my favorite album covers ever. Yeah, man, really fucking cool. There's the back right there. You got Century Media. Century Media didn't put out the Archaic Abattoir. I believe that was listenable. This does come with a printed inner sleeve with really fucking cool image. Lyrics. On this side you got some teeth and some credits. And despite all the weird color variants that this was put on, I got probably the most fitting, which is just red. Both labels are the same. And then a couple years after Coronary Reconstruction, we got the next full-length album, which is this, Global Flatline. Now this is another really fucking good full-length album. 4 of the songs on here actually came from Coronary Reconstruction, but like I said, they're different versions. Now, I got this for like $9, man. I'd looked for it forever and it never turned up anywhere. But then one day I looked on Century Media and it was on sale for like $9, and I have no idea why, but I wasn't complaining. But this has got some great songs, even a feature from Trevor from the Black Dahlia Murder on Vermicular Obscene Obese. And really, again, really cool. I love this style of artwork. I know this came later, it sort of was surfaced that this was like kind of stolen artwork. But from what I've seen, they've never used any different artwork for this from that point on, so I have no idea. But really fucking cool pictures, man. I love this style of artwork. This does come with like a weird long poster of like the whole scene, which is cool. You got a printed inner sleeve here with all the lyrics and shit like that. And on this side you got another really cool picture, and this is on clear vinyl, which is very nice. And again, very nice that Century Media included a CD version of the record with the record. Very cool. I would say my complaint would be that Century Media likes to put fucking stickers on the actual cover. Fucking idiots. Then a couple years later, we got this. And this is the Necrotic Manifesto. When I bought this, I bought the super big version. It had like a flag and the CD like box set, and I think it included a shirt, which now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've seen that shirt in like a couple of years. This has got some good songs on it too. My favorite, I think, would probably be Coffin Upon Coffin. One of the songs on here, which I think is cool, but I don't remember which one it is, has a hobo with a shotgun intro. This is definitely more sort of in the direction of what they did on like Retro Gore. And I don't even know how to explain what the difference is, but I do feel like it's a bit of a departure from what I love so much about some of those Aborted records I was just talking about. Certainly not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I really still enjoy this album. I listen to it, I don't know, maybe a few times a year, which I guess may not sound like much, but considering all this other shit I have to listen to, it's not bad. Yeah, you saw the front cover, you saw the back cover. There's a gatefold right there with some pictures of the band. 200 copies on this really fucking cool green vinyl. Can never have enough green vinyl, very nice. And again, Century Media included the CD. And that's all I got for Aborted. I don't have any of the early stuff. I don't have Retro Gore or the other like 2 EPs that they've done since this right here, and I know they have another album coming out this year. I'll check it out, but yeah, Aborted's not exactly a high priority for me. Here's a band you don't hear about all that often. This is Abysmal Lord with Storms of Unholy Black Mass. Given this album cover, what would you guess in terms of a style of music that this is? You're right, it's like Black Death. And it's basically exactly how you imagine it sounds, because with almost 95% of Black Death bands, they're almost entirely interchangeable. Now, this is the only EP that this band ever released from 2014. I know they've put out a full-length album since then. I haven't heard it. Again, it's not exactly a high priority or anything like that. But it looks cool. It was cheap. I think it was like $12 when I bought it. I listened to like, I don't know, maybe a couple minutes of a song, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. And I've maybe listened to this twice. You got a pretty cool picture on the inner sheet there. So you got lyrics, and it is red vinyl. I think the red vinyl was limited to 100 copies. Yeah, if Black Death is your thing, you can't go wrong with Abysmal Lord. That's Storms of Unholy Black Mass. Alright, let's look at some sort of older death metal. This is Acheron with Those Who Have Risen. Again, it's just kind of like one of those random, right in the middle of the discography albums. Like, why is this the one that I own? Really, I don't know. I remember hearing a few things from Acheron. I got this, I think, from Hell's Headbangers. I think it was the only full-length album that they had, and I just wanted something because what I heard was really cool. I looked up this album specifically, and what I heard I really enjoyed. It's certainly not reinventing the wheel. There's very simple riffs on this thing, but it's a fun album regardless, so it's cool. There's actually guest vocals on here by Corpse Grinder and David Vincent. Anyway, hideous fucking album cover. There's the back with the band members, track listing, shit like that. I guess things get a bit more interesting on the inside because you have some nudity. Cool. It does come with a poster, which I actually like. Again, nudity, Vincent Crowley, very cool. Even more hideous fucking artwork on the inner sheet here. All the lyrics. And again, 100 copies on this really cool like purple and white merge. The red and black labels don't fit at all, but Vinyl looks nice. So definitely a band I won't ever own everything by. I don't even remember how big their discography is offhand. But Acheron is certainly not a band I ever really look up. I play this once in a while, and like I say, whenever I do, it's a fun album, so yep, those who have risen. Alright, and the last band I'm going to talk about in this video is Acid Witch. And we'll start at the beginning, or the beginning of the full length anyway, 2008, Witchcraft Hallucinations. I would say of any album ever, this album probably has the coolest sound for a record. This isn't even my favorite Acid Witch release. I would have to give that to the 2010 album Stoned. If you gave the sound of this album to Stoned, Stoned could probably be one of my favorite albums ever. I don't really know how to explain this besides just using the word cavernous. They'll come in with that almost what sounds like psychedelic, like guitar that sort of just comes in real loud over top of the just sort of wall of cavernous noise. It's not overused and it's perfect. Like I said, the songs on this certainly aren't as good as the Stone songs in my opinion, but Into the Cave is a great song, Rabid Werewitch is great, Witch's Tits is cool, and of course it's got what I consider to be my favorite album cover of all time. There's the back, which is not as cool. There's the inside, you got all the lyrics and additional artwork right there. These Acid Witch records do come with these, like, they call them Halloween decorations, but they're basically just like shaped inner poster things, I don't know. You do get an actual poster of the album cover, and I am extremely pleased with the version that I have. I don't normally go for picture discs, but this thing is fucking gorgeous. Probably the prettiest picture disc in my collection. Maybe it's because it's my favorite like album cover, but man, that shit's unbeatable. Then just a couple years later in 2010, the band put out my favorite release. This is Stoned. The reason that I say this is my favorite is just the enjoyability of this album is a lot higher for me. The songs are catchier, the riffs are more memorable. The sort of intro on the album is, I like it better than the intro to Witchcraft Hallucinations. But just the sort of more campy feel of the album in its entirety. Like Metal Movie Marijuana Massacre Meltdown. You hear that and you pretty much know what to expect. Live Forever is my favorite track on this thing, but not my favorite Acid Witch song in total. That would go to the Fiends of Old song on the split with Nunslaughter. Yeah, the album cover is really fucking cool. Not quite as good as Witchcraft Hallucinations, of course. There's the back, very simple. You also get a poster for this one. Very nice. Printed in her sleeve with a really fucking cool picture of the band right there. And lyrics on that side. I like the back. Play loud while stoned. And you also get another one of these sort of Halloween decoration things of like a witch with a bong. And this is orange with like black marble. Very, very nice, man. It fits perfectly with the album cover. Also, this was a birthday present in like 2013 from Maddie. Which is cool. Fucking 5 years ago. And the last record I'm going to talk about here is Acid Witch Midnight Movies. This came out in 2015, and I think the only release between this and Stoned was the split with Nunslaughter. And man, this was such a disappointment. I think the song After Midnight was the only thing on this that I really cared for, and even that, I think I only cared for it because it was just better than all the other songs around it. This is basically just like 80s heavy metal with like the 80s horror movie theme, which is cool, but that's not why I listen to Acid Witch. But yeah, I love the fucking spot gloss cover. The artwork's cool. I like this logo, it's very nice. There's the back, spot glass on the pictures, really cool packaging. You got a really nice picture of the band too, very cool. I like the green light coming out of the cauldron. Of course, none of these are actually Acid Witch songs, they're all covers. 45 Grave, Black Roses, Sammy Kerr Band, and Rocktober Blood. And the record itself is cool. It's like this, they call it ox blood with gold or something like that. But you can see it's just like red and gold swirl. Now we finally have a new Acid Witch album, which is fantastic. I haven't really talked about it yet. I'm waiting for the LP, but there's not even pre-orders for it, so who knows, but yeah. Alright guys, that's it. That's all for this first video. We made it through, I don't know, maybe 20 records, so we got a long way to go. But let me know if this was too fast-paced. Let me know if you'd like me to slow it down, just have more parts, go more into detail, maybe talk about maybe how I got the record, or if you just want that as opposed to just here's what everything looks like, let me know and I'll adjust accordingly. But for now, that's it. thanks for sticking around. We've got a long way to go, so we'll be back soon. Probably the next thing you guys will see is an actual update with new shit, but I don't know. So yeah, you guys will find out real soon, and till then, later.